Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. We're looking at Psalms 127, which is the climb that we're all on. I mean, think about it. Have you ever looked at your life and just thought, why does this feel so hard if I'm doing it all right? I'm doing the right things. Psalms 127 says, unless the Lord builds the house, the workers build in vain. And unless the Lord protects the city, guarding it will do no good. See, most people don't burn out because they're lazy. They burn out because they're trying to ascend without support. Psalm 27 and some of your translations has a little title that says it's in the Song of Ascent. It's like a series of psalms, and that matters more than most people realize. Because songs of ascent, they weren't just about where you were going, they were about how you were actually getting there. See, that really matters to God and it matters in the Bible. Here's an uncomfortable truth that I just want to put in front of you today. I want to do it in love, so I hope you hear me. Some of the most spiritual looking lives are built on anxious striving and not on trust. So if you've ever really felt exhausted while you're still being faithful, Psalm 127 is for you. It is for me because I am currently in a season and this is a song over me right now. So let's just pause and I invite you into this with me as we think about why. Okay. So Psalm 127, it sits in a collection of Psalms, a series of them, from about Psalms 120 through 134 in a series called the Songs of Ascent. These were songs sung by the Israelites traveling from Jerusalem for worship. Okay, they were traveling up to Jerusalem for worship. And it was a physical climb, but biblically, it really does mean something more, these songs of ascent. See, in scripture, ascent can mean like returning to God's presence. Obviously, we're ascending closer to connection with God, realigning with his order, reharmonizing our life and our soul with his, letting go of self-powered control, self-focused control, self-preserving mindsets. See, 127 drops this bomb right in the middle of the journey. It says, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders will labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the guards that you put all over to guard, they're just going to stand in vain. Notice that God isn't really criticizing building here. He's not criticizing the work of building. He's not criticizing the action of guarding. He's not criticizing working or toiling, because it goes on to say, in vain you rise up early and you stay up late, toiling for food to eat. He's not confronting those things. What he's confronting is autonomous striving. Okay, autonomous striving. This psalm is like a mid-climb recalibration. So if you're faithful and you're doing the things, ask yourself, who's actually carrying the weight of my life right now? Who's doing the heavy lifting here? Sit with that for a minute. Because if you're working in mindsets within yourself and self-preservation, all that effort is in vain. So here's where it really gets painfully relevant. So stick with me. We're going to go a little bit deeper. Are you ready? We still do ascents today. We just name them something different. Instead of traveling to Jerusalem or going to the temple, we call it our career growth. I'm growing in my career. I'm expanding my ministry. I'm on a healing journey. I'm going to be the best parent. I'm going to be a successful parent. Parenting success. I'm going to grow in that. Even spiritual maturity can be a beautiful intention of ascent. But Psalms 127 exposes something that we don't like to admit, me, myself included. Not all upward movements are Godward movements. Okay? Not all upwards is Godwards. Psalm 127 says, in vain you rise early and you stay up late, toiling for food to eat. That word toiling doesn't necessarily mean healthy work forward. It means your labor is driven by fear. Your labor, really the fuel you're using, is a fear-based fuel, not a faith-based one. So the translation for modern life, what the fruit of that fuel is going to look like is hypervigilance. If you have some of that, backtrack that. Overfunctioning. Inability to rest. You can't rest. You're not really getting restful even when you try to downshift. Maybe you're feeling responsible for outcomes that were never yours to actually carry in the first place, or you're doing labor and work you were never actually assigned to do. So here's the twist that no one really expects. The highest ascent in Psalm 127 is sleep. Catch that. Sleep. For he gives sleep to those he loves. Another part of your translation might say that for while they sleep, he provides for those he loves. Sleep is an ultimate act of trust, isn't it? It's the moment you stop pretending that your God or your self-preservation efforts are actually going to get that fruit that you're looking for. Sleep in the Bible is one of connection. It comes from a place of connection with your God. So here's the Wisdom Wednesday question that I'm going to leave with you today. Is what you're building something God is constructing with you? Are you in a relationship with him as you're doing this thing? Or is it something you're holding together by your sheer grit, your sheer willpower? Really get honest. Look at the fruit and backtrack that answer. Because if your ascent is costing you your peace, if it's costing you your presence, being present to your relationships, you're not really available for connection to God or others or even yourself, that's presence. Is it costing you your rest? You can't rest even though when you downshift, you're binging Netflix and you're not restful. Is it costing you your joy? Maybe you're not climbing towards God, even in your beautiful efforts and your beautiful intentions. Maybe you're climbing towards control, or you're climbing for validation for something. But Psalm 27 is an invitation to a different kind of ascent, one where dependence is strength here. Rest is your maturity in this season. If this is resonating with you, please sit with it this week. Read this psalm for yourself, pull it out. And if you want more reflections like this from me, please, subscribe, like this, follow me, or just join me every Wednesday and we'll explore these ancient wisdom for modern souls.